So, our story starts way back in the 6th century, with a guy named Millán. He was a simple shepherd who loved hanging out in the peaceful Cardenas Valley. He really loved nature, and he was a super religious guy. He built a little hut for himself, a hermitage, and guess what? That little hut became the first Suso Monastery. St. Millán was all about keeping things simple. He loved his faith and the world around him. Even after he died, people kept coming to his little hermitage for spiritual advice and to learn new things. His simple life had a really big impact. These San Millán monasteries, the Yuso and the Suso, are nestled in the picturesque La Rioja region of Spain. They are not just historical landmarks, they are living chronicles of architectural evolution. They're not just stuck in the past. Instead, they serve as a bridge connecting different eras, showcasing the dynamic changes in architectural styles over centuries. Their buildings tell a really cool story about how art and styles changed in Spain over a super long time. Each stone, each arch, and each carving is a testament to the artistic and cultural shifts that have taken place. Take the Suso Monastery, the older of the two. It dates back to the 6th century and is like a time capsule of early Spanish architecture. It's like a mix of all sorts of early Spanish styles. You can see the layers of history in its walls, from the Visigothic period to the Mozarabic influences. You see arches from the Visigoths, designs from the Mozarabs, and even bits of Romanesque architecture, which was becoming popular back then. Each element tells a story of cultural exchange and adaptation, and even bits of Romanesque architecture, which was becoming popular back then. This blend of styles makes the Suso Monastery a fascinating study in architectural history. Now, the Yuso Monastery, built later in the 11th century, is much bigger and grander. It reflects the growth and prosperity of the monastic community during that time. Its Romanesque style shows how important and wealthy the monks had become. The grandeur of its design speaks volumes about the resources and influence they had. And get this, over the years they kept adding and changing things, so now it's this amazing mix of styles. From Gothic to Baroque, each addition adds a new layer to its rich tapestry. It really shows how skilled and artistic the builders were throughout history. The San Millán monasteries are not just buildings, they are masterpieces that narrate the story of Spain's architectural journey through time. Hey everyone, welcome to a journey through history. Today we're diving into something super cool about the San Millán monasteries, a place steeped in history and culture. These monasteries are incredibly important in Spanish history. Do you know why? Because within these ancient walls, something truly amazing happened that changed the course of history. Gap 2S. The Castilian Spanish language, the Spanish many of us speak today, was born right here in these very monasteries. Can you believe it? This is where it all began. Inside the Suso Monastery, dedicated monks meticulously wrote down their thoughts, prayers, and teachings. These writings were some of the very first words ever recorded in Castilian Spanish, marking the birth of a new language. This was a monumental event in the history of language and culture. Castilian Spanish emerged by blending Latin with the local dialects that people were already speaking in the region. And guess what? This new language started to spread. Over time, Castilian Spanish evolved and became the language spoken by millions of people all over the world, connecting diverse cultures and communities. For over 15 centuries, the San Millán monasteries have been much more than architectural marvels. Nestled in the serene landscapes of La Rioja, these monasteries have witnessed the ebb and flow of history, standing as silent sentinels to the passage of time. They have served as vibrant centers of monastic life, their walls echoing with the rhythms of prayer, scholarship, and communal living. The daily lives of monks were filled with a sense of purpose and devotion, creating a unique spiritual atmosphere that permeated every corner of these sacred spaces. Suso Monastery, with its austere beauty and secluded location, reflects the early emphasis on simplicity and spiritual contemplation. The monks here embraced a life of solitude, finding peace and enlightenment in their isolation. The ancient stonework and tranquil gardens offer a glimpse into a world where time seems to stand still. It stands as a reminder of the roots of monastic tradition, where monks lived lives dedicated to prayer and seclusion from the outside world. The quiet courtyards and serene natural settings provided the perfect backdrop for a life of introspection and spiritual growth. Yuso Monastery, with its grander scale and more elaborate design, reflects the evolution of monastic life. As the centuries passed, the monastic community grew, and with it, the need for more expansive and ornate structures. The grandeur of Yuso Monastery stands in stark contrast to the simplicity of Suso, showcasing the dynamic nature of monastic architecture. It became a center for scholarship and cultural exchange, its library housing a vast collection of manuscripts and illuminated texts. Scholars from far and wide would come to study and share knowledge, making Yuso Monastery a beacon of learning and intellectual pursuit. The rich history contained within its walls continues to inspire and educate to this day. These monasteries weren't just important for religion, they were also super important for history and art. Think of them as giant treasure chests filled with old books, papers, and cool objects. They tell us so much about what life was like in Spain a long, long time ago. The library at the Yuso Monastery is really special. The monks who lived there worked hard to save these things. They have beautiful books with colorful pictures, music notes written down, and important papers, some from over 1,000 years ago. These things teach us about music, stories, kings and queens, and even what people ate for dinner back then. These San Millán monasteries, the Yuso and the Suso, they're not just pretty buildings. They're really connected to the beautiful nature all around them. Tucked away in La Rioja, the hills and vineyards of the Cardenas Valley kind of hug the monasteries. It's peaceful here, far away from the noisy city. It's a quiet place, perfect for thinking and reflection. The beautiful scenery makes the monasteries feel even more special, like a place to connect with nature and find some peace. Hey everyone! So, these San Millán monasteries, Yuso and Suso, they're super important, especially for people walking the Camino de Santiago. You know that famous pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela? Well, these monasteries are right on the path. They've been there for centuries helping travelers. Think about it. People walking for miles and miles. They're tired. They need a place to rest, some food, maybe some encouragement. That's what the monasteries offered. The monks living there believed in being kind and helpful, so they welcomed everyone, no matter who they were, giving them a safe place to relax and get ready for the rest of their trip.